this issue of Fashion Classics, we go back to spring-summer 2001 for Parisian creativity. It was a long, hot summer at Valentino.
I'm not an expert, but it seems to me that he's sort of there's a kind of timeless elegance.
Jean-Paul Gaultier showed biker chic.
I think he's one of the most interesting designers today.
Gilles Rosier traveled to Africa for Kenzo.
I like to travel like Kenzo did. That's the funky way of fashion.
We visit a new shoe mecca in the heart of Paris. And more next.
I am a designer that I am around since 4 decades. So I think with this collection I want to express myself in a very extremely young, easy way.
In spring 2001, Valentino celebrated his 40th year in the business by reinventing his signature look. Hair and makeup reflected the glamour of the collection.
Obviously, Valentino is a certain type of woman, and she's very rich, and she's very luxurious, and she's very pulled together. But blow drying it out first, side parting, some mousse, and then just like a little pomade to smooth it.
The clothes are so incredibly beautiful and neat and perfectly done, and that's how it's going to be the makeup, but in a very soft way. The only point with very strong is the lips. They are going to be very, very strong, bright red, a bit not matte, not glossy, but a bit satin.
I want to show this girl very fresh, very feminine.
Okay.
I'm not an expert, but it seems to me that he's sort of there's a kind of timeless elegance and beauty. You know, he's not a fashion victim. He's never pretentious.
I love my poncho in chiffon. Then it's like 2 scarves sewed together, and they cover the shoulders in a very amusing way. Of course, all my little white dresses, all my little dresses with all the buckles in the back.
There were 2 things I liked. I liked the little mini dresses, which I think you'll see me in next spring, and I liked the little strappy backs that they had, the sort of bondage backs on some of them. Yeah.
The color is lots of white, red, beige, black and white a lot, and that's it. Lots of accessories, lots of details. The bags, sometimes they match the dresses, sometimes not. It's a collection very easy to wear. I love my collection, what I have to tell you.
Hot shoes by Rudolph Menudier were on every fashionista's list when he opened his boutique in the center of Paris.
This is the center of Paris, and on the old story of Paris, all the Gaultier are in this area, and I would like to make something to create a clima, very clima, and because I don't like the shop like a supermarket, you know. It will be all a concept, because there is not only shoes, it will be also socks and bijoux for feet, and also cosmetic for shoes.
This concept exudes a James Bond cool, with an element of surprise in every drawer.
I'm always looking around me and to look at the woman that I see on the street or on the TV, and I mix like a DJ. I love to design with my pen and paper. The story of this collection is about 3 women. It's about a book of Jacqueline Suzanne, The Love Machine. The story is about three women who love this man. I work with those 3 attitude of this woman. One is with the butterfly, with the wood and the stone jeans. And this style is for me is the bobo. It's a mix with a bourgeoise and a bohème. And the other one is more city, more IT, more fashion. It's all in metal, and you can put the strap in the heel, and after you lace all over the legs. We cannot stop on this collection and tell oh, this is the best collection, and no, we have to forget it and to make new shape, and it's what I prefer.
For spring 2001, Gaultier's search for vintage leather and Georgette resulted in an eclectic mix of tough chic and biker glamour.
But the basic idea is that you can use old things that you love and still use it and cut them and use it as an accessory, and always they can be with you.
Deconstruction prevails, with isolated leather sleeves and cut-up trousers used as wide belts, which were then layered over fluid vintage fabric.
Even like the leather old bike type, all that was kind of accessory for me because I use it like a prothèse, you know, like you put a sleeve like that, and it's an accessory. You know, you take a part of a blouson and it become like a skirt, or it become like a belt, you know. So it's like a lot of jokes, not jokes, but like different use of accessory.
If you want to try this at home, here is where to get started.
Old jacket of me or of some people I know, or some archives, some antique things from the flea market and things from my grandmother.
The models stayed tough, stumping through dirt, drinking beer, and showing off the most sexy bathing suits.
Georgette de soie. It was like pastel, and like that the color I like quite subtle, and with the leather that have different shades.
I think he's one of the most interesting designers today.
Since 1994, former stylist Isabelle Lurer has worn many hats, both as artist and as milliner.
Oui, j'ai commencé, je ne sais pas si c'est par hasard, j'ai une formation de styliste, j'ai travaillé dans le vêtement pendant 4 ans, vêtements et impression textile, et j'engageais une carrière vers l'impression textile assistée par ordinateur. Je cherchais une formation qui était à l'époque, il y a presque 10 ans maintenant, était beaucoup trop chère et pas du tout adaptée. Je me suis donc documentée, et en cherchant des écoles de style, je suis tombée sur une école de modiste. Et comme je travaillais encore à mi-temps, je me suis dit tiens, c'est amusant, c'est sur mon chemin pour rentrer chez moi. J'ai envie de me délier un peu les doigts. Je vais essayer, je trouve ça, je ne ferai certainement pas ma carrière, ou je ne sais pas ce que j'en ferai, mais j'avais besoin de toucher les matériaux.
It wasn't long after Lurer established herself that designer Christian Lacroix took notice.
Que je suis allée avec mon bouc, avec quelques chapeaux, rendre visite à la styliste qui s'occupe de l'accessoire, qui a aimé mon travail, qui l'a montré à Monsieur Lacroix, et c'est comme ça que j'ai commencé timidement à faire des petits accessoires pour les cheveux pour la collection qui suivait, c'est-à-dire c'était de l'hiver haute couture, Et c'était des cache-chignons, des objets qu'on plantait dans le chignon en velours. Mais je pense que j'ai fait bouger en fait. Depuis que je travaille avec lui, en fait, il a fait de moins en moins de vrais chapeaux. Quelques jours avant, disons 15 jours avant les défilés, c'est le défilé prêt-à-porter 98. Monica, qui est la styliste accessoire de Monsieur Lacroix, m'envoie un fax, ben voilà, en me disant voilà, il nous en faut 34. J'ai eu une discussion avec le coiffeur et j'ai pensé faire des espèces de gros coussins en crin qui soient à la fois très volumineux et très transparents.
The inspirations for her adventurous designs come from nature and the world around her.
Tout m'inspire, la rue, les promenades, les jardins, les magazines, les dessins. Je fais des découpages, je garde tout, j'ai toujours un œil. J'ai l'œil qui travaille tout le temps en fait. Je dis pas que c'est important d'avoir un chapeau. Je suis peut-être comme un peintre ou comme un sculpteur. Je fais des objets qui se portent, qui ont une relation avec le corps. C'est important pour moi parce que c'est ma manière de m'exprimer. Parce que je suis pas très loquace, je parle pas beaucoup.
In his program notes for Kenzo, designer Guy Rossier alluded to his choice of colors, creating the effect of desert and earth. It all began backstage with African-inspired looks in beauty.
The inspiration, it's coming from the volumes are a little bit 40s and a little bit from the big time of Helmut Newton. Also a mixture of the street hair from Africa, from the big cities. It was a little difficult because European hairdressers don't always know how to do the braiding, so I hired 5 African hairdressers.
Look very simple, brown because the collection comes from Africa. Africa in the 40s, and it's just a brown color from Africa. It's brown, light brown.
No longer at Kenzo, this spring-summer 2001 collection was one of Rossier's stronger seasons of silhouettes.
As we work from the beginning, it was more about the cutting, as explained, more geometric. I wanted everything to be light, fluid and sexy, and with a great freedom attitude. I was always very influenced in the sense I've lived in Africa, and I love the mix of the soul music. And of course, when you look at it, we were doing the styling that looks like Marvin Gaye, 80s inspiration type, Grace Jones, of course, from the 80s as well. There was a lot of mousseline and chiffon printed with what was really strange. There was some print like polka dots, African polka dots, and they were like in 2 color combinations on the same panel. And I wanted like those 3-dimensional effect. And there was a lot of jersey, as you noticed, the wrap jersey, some petticoat, some cotton petticoat, and a bit crushed, and a lot of leather, but very soft leather, inspired by African bags.
And of course, accessories.
We knitted some stockings and we dyed them to go with the lace. There was a kind of what we call in French guipure, like transparent blouson mixed with leather, or even dresses. Shoes were inspired by Indian. It's always a mixture, you know, because I like to travel like Kenzo did. That's the funky way of fashion.
While Vivan Kazu, Parisian-based designer of Caribbean descent, dreamed of designing from an early age, her initial path took a slightly different turn before she was on the road to fashion once again.
Thank you. I decided to do business administration courses at the Sorbonne. Then I have my degree, and I do a job training at Yves Saint Laurent. So I saw how everything was working in a maison de haute couture. And then I entered fashion. I was working with Dominique Orientis, which was a designer of jewels, and I learned everything there.
When we visited, Her boutique in Paris was bursting with color and creativity, something that inspires other designers to come knocking.
I knew Gilles Rosier, which is a new artistic director, and so I used to do his accessories for his fashion show, so I think he chose me to work with him because I knew what you want to do in Kenzo's accessories and everything. Quality of the material are very important for me, but the second thing is I like very simple things. I like what is in the street every day. This season I work with chic Madras check because I'm from Caribbean island and Madras check is what people used to work. It's a very folkloric thing, but I put a special stamp on it. This is coming from the big shopper bag, you know? Everybody got one to go at the market and everything, so we bought one and we decided to do a very teeny one but with a special calf skin looking like crocodile with the color of the skin. This is a special print representing chain and then it's stamped. It's not print, it's stamped on the leather. And this is a skirt bag. It was inspired by my assistant because she's always wearing skirt like that. So I decided to manufacture a bag for her. And this one was inspired by what the women are wearing on their head in the Caribbean islands. Those ones are thick Madras necklaces. It's supposed to be worn like that. So I prefer to be inspired by a very simple thing and then to put some precious material on it to show people that a very simple thing and very usual thing could be interesting too.
For Japanese designer Yosiki Hishinuma, creating original fabrics is paramount.
For me, to make an original material is most important things. Materials comes first all the time, and I always want to develop my technique. Some technique I do it in 1 month, and sometimes it takes 1 year to develop it. So it depends, but it's very important to continue developing the original things. Always, I'm working with many factories, and each season I tell them my idea. Just I want to do something like this, and they think how to realize it. So I start with only one idea, but I can create many kind of things.
Contemporary designs combined with form-fitting silhouettes dominated the runway.
Mainly I use polyester. In Japan, it's really, you can have a lot of beautiful polyester. I got the inspiration from snake. You know, it's like a snake. This one, a very strong stretch. But when you put it, you know, you can see a blue. The material is very original. It's kind of fake leather. I got the inspiration from flowers, you know, but I tried to create a flower in a very contemporary way. I'm using a transfer print. I use for example, this clothes. I put the pink color from inside, light blue color from outside. This is also a transfer print, but sometimes I use plain colors, but I use sometimes flowers and some patterns like this. First I have this organzy, and then I sew green part, red part, then after I shrink it.
So what What's next for Yoshiki?
I really want to make a boutique. It's very important.
We put the collection together really like an expanded wardrobe. It's all the things you'd want to sort of grab for in your closet.
Designer Michael Kors' vision for Celine this season was a little more rugged. Hair and makeup echoed disease.
It's kind of that sexy tan skin that Michael likes. The eye colour is a mix of a dark metallic green and a kind of khaki brown. Sort of smoky eye, and make the girls look kind of vampy.
Playing around a little bit with sort of a dramatic eye, which I kind of love the idea of someone who wears this bronzy kind of metallic eye, but almost really looks like she has no other makeup on.
For the long hair, it's very groomed with a little flick on the end, and the short hair is a bit more tousled. So we actually have two different looks.
In fall 2004, Kors presented his last collection for the House of Celine. Like this one, it showcased his forte, elegant sportswear for today's glamorous style setters.
Celine this season for spring, I sort of turn on for me was the extremes. Things that are very sexy worn with things that are very tailored and masculine. Something very casual like a sweatshirt worn with beaded pants. I love that whole idea of mixing things up. Black is definitely back. We're making a bit of a statement with it. Bronzy shades I think are really kind of new and exciting. Lots of shades of sand and stone. But a lot of those metallic accents on the shoes and the bags and the belts I think are great with all these neutral colors. A lot of new fabrics this season. First off, we've played around with things. They aren't what they look like. We've done cotton that is printed to look like leather. We've done silk that looks like camouflage, but then it's shredded and knitted. Lame, but suddenly the lame is double face and it's a lightweight wool. Suede that is now looking like net. So I love all these tortoise patterns and the horn patterns, the leather patterns. I think they're great because you can wear them head to toe, but also you could just mix it in with jeans or anything you own. At our show, I want every woman in the audience to say, I want to own that. I'd love to look like that. I want every man in the audience to say, I want to know her. I think at the end of the day, I think the most interesting women never really look that pulled together. They might take 3 hours to get ready, but I don't want to know that they did.